We are working it today with Andy Challenger of Challenger Gray and Christmas, here with tips about the good old-fashioned phone interview. And Andy, as you know, so many people are interviewing on Zoom right now. The video conferencing company's revenue up more than 300%, but you say some employers are still using the phone for interviews.
Yeah, despite the growing use of video conferencing software for the job search, almost every job seeker is still going to run into traditional phone screens at some point during their process. Usually that's with somebody in HR before you get into the more substantial interviews with a hiring manager. But they're really important. So we recommend that people first in the job search clear out their voicemail inbox so there's room to make sure you're receiving all those important messages. We recommend people set up a new voicemail greeting at the beginning of their search that's friendly and professional and uses your first and your last name. And then we recommend that job seekers just start getting used to picking up their phone again throughout the course of their search. We know most people stopped answering calls from unknown numbers because of this giant increase in spam calls everyone receives. But it's so important that you don't miss those critical calls. Sometimes that interview doesn't come around again, so it's worthwhile to pick up every phone call that's coming in.
Bad idea to text a potential employer?
Yeah, if a potential employer calls you, we don't recommend texting back. You really want to use the mode of communication that's most comfortable for your potential hiring manager. So we recommend just using whatever format they use to reach you. If they called, you call. If they emailed, you email. And if they texted, you text them back.
But isn't it a challenge because you really can't see the body language on the other side of that phone call?
Yeah, in a phone interview, when you can't see the other person's face, it's much easier to accidentally interrupt your interviewer, which is something you never want to do. So we recommend taking a half a second pause after they've asked a question to both make sure that you don't accidentally interrupt them, but also give you just a second to think and prepare your response. A little bit of a pause never hurt anyone.
Thank you, Andy. We always appreciate your comments about what's happening in the work world.
Thanks for having me on, Angie.
This is First AM. Check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.